You're full of beans this morning. What's that about?
I slept longer than 5 a.m.
15 minutes ago,
Yay.
you were really asleep in bed.
I know, but shut up, I did not do that.
No, you didn't.
I've been waking up at 5 a.m.
Well,
every day. And this morning I woke up at, wait for it, 10 to 6. I know, right?
Okay.
And then I went back to sleep. I made a decision.
And stayed asleep to what, 6:30 when the alarm went off?
Yep.
Nice.
So
There we go.
here I am, full of beans.
So, yeah. And 30th of June
Yeah.
today. Lots of fun.
Lots of
That
fun.
means-
Fun stuff happens on the 30th of June,
I
guys.
don't know if it does. I mean, it's halfway through the year. Exactly.
Oh, I was going to have such a productive year.
I have.
And then,
You have. I mean,
pandemic.
literally, like, been through a global pandemic.
I know, that doesn't make me productive. It's not like, been through a global pandemic, Hannah solved it.
No, well, true. True. But, yeah.
Can you imagine? What did you do this year? Solved a pandemic. Just with the power of my mind.
I've got some good ideas. Wash your hands.
Well,
That
yeah.
wasn't your idea.
That wasn't my idea, mate.
Hand sanitizer.
Eat healthy food.
That is one.
Move regularly
There's another one.
so that your body has the ability to fight off infection.
I thought I was to run away in case it went crazy.
We're not talking about, this isn't the zombie apocalypse, babe.
Oh, right, okay. That's maybe an extreme version.
In case I need to run away from zombies.
You never know.
No.
You never know. So, this is going to be our...
It's really hot.
It was coffee, honey.
I know, but it
You
was
just
like,
made it.
I know, but it was like it burned in my throat.
Steady then.
Sorry.
I'm not drinking mine then, 'cause you know what I'm like. Don't like it hot. It is actually feeling hot in my hand. This is going to be the last actual morning coffee at this time.
Sad face.
Sad face, yeah. We have done this for, I think we started 3 months. We definitely did it for 3 months.
Yeah,
definitely
we started
something
fairly at the beginning of lockdown.
27th of March or something like that.
Yeah.
So we've gone, it's been a great run. We've shared lots of stuff. We've shared some absolute bobbins as well.
Yeah.
Mainly that's me on tangents. But we've really enjoyed it. But we know that lots of people are going back to work and people are now getting their kids ready for school and that sort of thing. So it's different and changing. So we're going to change what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I didn't really talk to Hannah about this yesterday any more than I did yesterday
I
morning.
know nothing.
But we have the ability to record and obviously release in a similar sort of way a podcast, which we'll do on a video as well.
Does that make it a vlog?
Yeah, no, it's still a podcast. People still call it a podcast now, even if they do a kind of visual version.
I'm not up with the lingo.
No, but I mean technically, and people like video because they can see what you're saying, don't they? In a sense.
Because they can see what you're saying.
No, it means you're not kind of hiding behind.
Lip reading.
Yeah.
Enunciate.
So it's just kind of changing the outlet and making the output a bit more focused.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
I think we've actually really enjoyed doing this and
We'll have, yeah.
having especially when we were like on proper lockdown, having the kind of that feeling of community, I think, and that interaction with people and feeling like we were able to, just have those kind of chats and talk to people a little bit.
I think that's kind of probably the biggest thing to take from this is that I think because that almost taken for granted, seeing people connectivity was taken away, had to be much more intentional about that.
Yeah.
Morning Lou, and literally book things in to talk to people or connect to things, make sure they kind of, in a sense, knew what was going on. I mean, we've spoken to your family in New Zealand much more consistently.
But it's been no different because
That
they
would
live
make
in
any
New
difference.
Zealand,
That would make
so
any
we
difference.
wouldn't see them anyway. But somehow, it is that intentionality.
Because we've got into the habit of saying, right, at this time, let's have a video call between us. It has meant talk to them. The kids have spoken to their cousins in Chester. We might see them a couple of times a year, but we spoke to them much more often.
Yeah, Eden Joy spoke to her pen pal in Australia. You know,
Yeah.
and it is just having that mindset, isn't it? And I think that's the thing. I was thinking about this morning. Actually, I saw a post somebody put about intentional happiness or intentional joy. And something that her husband did that she didn't realise he did for years, like 18 years they'd been together, and she found this out. And he basically, in any given moment of the day, he asks himself, how can I add happiness to this moment?
Wow, that's cool.
So she'd always just thought that she was married to this like super upbeat, happy guy who's like really nice to everybody, and even if people are a jerk, he's still, you know, really nice. And actually, he just likes being happy. So he's worked out that the best way to do that is to be intentional about it, and
That's
literally
cool.
says to himself. And so she thought, oh, well, I'll give this a try. And she said, even within just a week of intentionally saying to herself multiple times a day, what would make this moment add happiness to this moment? She found that her overall sense of happiness was higher. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? That we can take away from this whole thing is that kind of idea of intentionality, of being intentional in our relationships, intentional in how we manage stress, intentional in how we love each other. Because when you're, you know, all crammed in a small house, one way of managing that is to end up having massive arguments and being horrible. And I think for a lot of people that has been the case, but actually being intentional and saying, right, what can I do to make this season a better season? What can I do to love the people in my world harder? What can I do to embrace the opportunities that I have? What can I do to build relationships with the people that I want to? And actually, in a sense, I was talking to a friend and I was like, I think there's probably I don't know, I think I will be intentional about who I then pursue those relationships with after this, and who I kind of intentionally spend time with. Because I realised that before, you could easily just run from one event to another and seeing different people, and, you know, actually it just kind of wipes you out a little bit. It doesn't necessarily build healthy relationships. But there's some people in our world that I think, do you know what? I am going to be intentional about spending time with them, intentional about building a relationship with them. And yeah, I think that's, for me, I think one of the biggest takeaways from the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, I think another aspect I've just thought of is, although a lot of choices were reduced in what you could do, that I kind of did a similar thing, in that you had to decide actually what's important, what we're going to prioritise, and some things you kind of take for granted, you end up doing better. Like even going to the shops, you know, we live close to like 3 supermarkets, so we'll often pop to the shops all the time. But when you can't do that, it's much better to kind of go, right, let's get set for the week in one go, so we don't have to go in and out all over the...
I have recognised that I do not like going to the shops during a pandemic, and I will prioritise allowing you to go.
Ah, there we go. Which I quite like going to the shops.
I'm intentional about letting Mark go to the shops for me.
Yeah, I like going to the shops. Ooh, the cat is chasing a pigeon. The pigeon is as big as the cat.
Pigeons are fat.
They are. There we go.
Siddy pigeons, man.
So, yeah, it definitely has brought a definite sense of... This has brought a sense of community, and being intentional about what we do with time has definitely been massively highlighted, hasn't it? So yeah, it's a good thing.
So we're being intentional about what we do with our time.
Yes.
And not doing this anymore.
not because anything. It's not because it's a bad thing.
No. We genuinely love it.
Just to refocus what we're doing, really.
And you can't say to little Jimmy while he's trying to get ready for school, like, oh, sorry, I've just got to watch Mark and Hannah talk about nonsense for 20 minutes. Just
Yeah.
sort yourself out, love.
Yeah, yeah. Get your own breakfast.
I'm only 5.
Yeah.
Tough.
I've got sugar in a bowl. Can I put some oats on top? That's the wrong way around, you me. Yeah. Almost
Nice.
right. Almost right.
Almost, but not quite.
What's wrong with Jimmy today? You had sugar for breakfast. You sprinkled your oats on top. Not the other way around.
And all because Mark and Hannah carried on doing morning coffee when really they should have packed it in.
Should have packed it in.
So.
Distracted everybody. There we go. So yeah, at some point this week, maybe even tomorrow, just because you're working on Thursday,
I know, I'm just joking.
we'll record something a bit more, a little bit
Thought out.
different, a bit more thought out. Even might even have some bullet points on a piece of paper or something before we start.
Yeah.
That's been an occasional thing. There has sometimes been bullet points for this, and that then have been ignored probably, but used at different times. So
They help anyway.
they do help anyway. They do help anyway. So hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. I mean, some people keep on logging on, so they must think something is valuable in some way.
Yeah, and people have messaged, and said like how good it's been to have something like this when everything else has stopped.
Yeah.
Which has been honestly like really beautiful, because this was just a bit of a whim, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mark's whim.
And I don't know.
I wasn't even really up for it. I was a bit cross with him. He was being a bit of a tiff.
I can't even remember why it started in the end. Why I started doing it just as
You just decided to.
Sometimes
You just
I have good
decided to.
ideas.
And rather than deciding to just do it like, a couple of times a week, you decided to do it 6 days a week. Because, why not? Why not video yourself having a cup of coffee 6 days a week at 7 a.m, hey?
As it turned out, we weren't going anywhere.
As it turned out, we had no other plans. True story.
That is true.
But, it's actually been really great. And I think there have actually been days where, because at the beginning of lockdown, you were, like in all love, the stress of having to start a business.
Totally changing things, yeah.
He was a little bit of a div, but with all the love in the world. But actually, having to come downstairs, and that's that thing about intentionality.
Yeah.
I could have just said, do you know what? And in a sense, you have not the right to do it, but I could have said, do you know what? You decided to get up and talk to people over coffee in the morning, and you're being a total div. I'm going to stay in bed, and I'm being intentional about choosing our marriage and choosing to. Do you know what I mean? Actually meant that I had to come and be nice, because you can't, come downstairs and be stroppy with your husband in front of other people. That's not okay, is it?
Might have got more views. Got more people watching.
But actually, I think that by doing that, you then kind of get over the hurt, or you get over the kind of pride or whatever it is. And I think that's another thing that it's taught me, actually, is if you haven't got people watching you, are you still going to make that choice?
Yeah, that's good.
To come downstairs and be kind, even if the other person's been a div.
Yeah.
And I think that by doing that, it actually made you be kinder, because oftentimes we react to how other people have reacted to our upset, and it was only because, like global pandemic, lockdown, starting a new business, whatever. It's all legitimate stuff.
Yeah.
But it is how we then choose to respond to the other person, isn't it? And it is that intentionality again. That was just more enforced intentionality.
Yeah.
But that has taught me a good lesson. So, well, thanks, babe.
Brilliant. There we are.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you doing this when really you're like, what's the point? What are we doing it for? And
I was a bit like that.
It's been good. And I don't know if you, appreciate the value of live video now. I don't know.
It's not that I didn't appreciate the value of it. It's more that you were being a div and I was being a div back.
Yeah.
Is that, well, he's been mean to me, so why should I be nice to him?
Go and do his thing that he started.
Yeah,
that he didn't want to do in the first place.
Well, no, just like, well, you never asked me, so why should I, kind of thing. But that is a really immature response, actually. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's good to be able to recognise those things and go, actually, by intentionally choosing the best thing, even if myself was like, then actually the result of that is a really great thing.
It is.
So.
It is. So we will come back later this week with a different format to listen to, and Levi's very excited because he thinks he's going to be able to listen to us on Spotify.
Oh.
He's very, very excited.
He doesn't understand. He thinks that makes him famous or something. It's like 5 people.
He's going to be sharing it with his friends at school. Mum and Dad, I've got a podcast. It's on Spotify. Do you want to listen to it?
He's super cute. It was when we used to do boot camp video ads for the gym, and the kids would be in it, and they genuinely thought they were famous because people at the gym would be like, "Oh, hi Levi, hi Eden," but they didn't know, so they're like, "We're famous."
20 people know us. Yeah, really cool. So, have a very, very good day today, and we'll be back, and we are obviously still on the end of messages and whatever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Please message for any help with health and fitness, all that sort of thing.
Or even just to say hi.
That would be very cool. And it doesn't mean that the other stuff that I put out around health and fitness is going to stop. It just means that we're going to reframe this into a different format.
No, please don't let that stop.
No, that's got to keep going.
That's got to keep
That's
going.
Got to keep
That's
going.
Good.
Yeah. So, thank you for watching over the time we've been going, and we'll see you soon.